You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Yeah.
Welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. Of course, I'm your host, Coop. Big shout out to you that's listening to this episode right now on whatever major streaming platform that you're on. Also, if you want to catch the video version of this show, you can in so many different ways. You can go to youtube.com/The Big Scoop with Coop. Make sure you click like and subscribe so you don't miss one episode of the Big Scoop with Coop. Also, make sure you check out the website, thebigscoopwithcoop.com, where you can catch episodes from season 1 all the way up to now. Also, if you're a social media person, that's right, you can find these shows on social media. Facebook.com/The Big Scoop with Coop. On Instagram at Big Scoop with Coop. And that's right, I'm on TikTok. I am on TikTok, people. Just look up The Big Scoop with Coop. And I guarantee you will not miss one episode of The Big Scoop with Coop. All right, people. Enough about me. Today's guest. This man has been doing big things for many, many years. You have seen him on Power Rangers Time Force. He's also done a live action movie that's fan made of Dragon Ball. And it's called Dragon Ball Son of Trunks. And he's here to talk about his new movie that's called An Old Friend. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the one and only Jason Faunt. So sit back and relax and enjoy this episode of the Big Scoop with Coop with Jason Faunt. Welcome to the show.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. And man, that's quite an introduction. I hope I can to keep up with you there.
Man, Jason, you know you got this, man. How's your day going so far?
You know what? It's good. We just got back from Singapore and Taiwan for I did an appearance at Singapore Comic-Con, so everything is good now. Sleep with kids, and they're waking up at 2 a.m. and going to bed at 7 a.m. So we're a little upside down there, but other than that, everything's smooth sailing.
Well, you're lucky. I'm in North Carolina, so it wants to snow one day, and then it wants to stop, and then it wants to snow for at least 30 seconds, and then it wants to stop again. So I don't know what the weather doing over here. We have like a remix to Wizard of Oz going on right now, but I can't complain. I have you on the show. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love it.
Yes. Now, Jason, like I told everybody, you know, you've been doing big things your whole career. From Power Rangers, of course, Time Force. They say that's one of the top 3 Power Rangers of all time. Mm-hmm. Also, you know, you've done, we're going to talk about it later on, of course, Son of Trunks, fan-made Dragon Ball series, and, of course, the movie that we're here to talk about, An Old Friend. But before we get into all of that, when did you first realize that you wanted to get into the entertainment industry?
Well, I know exactly when. It was a sophomore in high school. And I got like, you know, with flu, pneumonia, whatever, you're sick, fever, throwing up. And my parents both worked, but they went to Blockbuster Video. So for the young fans out there, they don't know what that is. But back in the day, before you wanted to watch a movie, you had to go to an actual store and rent the VHS. So it was a big process. So they rented a movie called Risky Business, starring Tom Cruise. And I watched that movie. And during that 2 hours, I completely felt like I had escaped from being sick. All my symptoms seemed to alleviate, and I thought, man, that looks like it'd be so much fun to be an actor. The movie took place in suburbia Chicago. I was from suburbia Chicago. So I just thought, you know what, when I'm done playing competitive sports, because I was a 3-sport athlete in high school, I played college and pro baseball. I said, whenever they kick me off the baseball field, I'm going to move to California and just dive into something I know nothing about. Yeah.
And you know what, Jason, I tell people all the time, man, a lot of people that's watching worldwide right now, they heard me say this before. When you have a love that's inside your heart and a passion inside your head for it, it's never going to go away. So I don't care if you're playing baseball, I don't care if you're a plumber, I don't care what you're doing. If you have a passion for it, you're going to go for it.
Yep.
And look
Absolutely.
what you did. Yes. Now, did you have any mentors to assist you throughout your career?
Well, when I moved out there, I knew one person A friend of mine, she played volleyball at my college in North Carolina. Actually, I went to college at UNC Asheville.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I was out there for a bit, and her uncle was a manager, a talent agent, and he never represented me, but at least he pointed me into the right directions of, what acting class to go to, what photographer to use. He was a little higher level, and then so I never got a chance to really, really work with him. But he was able to at least point me into competent, good acting classes. So I met with him. I remember doing that, and jumped into acting class. And I was smart enough to know I didn't know what I was doing, so just to sit, learn, study, and try and get caught up before I jumped into the fracas.
Big shout out to UNC Asheville for holding Jason Faunt in there. I mean, daggone it. Look what y'all did. That is, man, yes. Y'all helped produce this guy. That's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Now, let's talk about this real quick. Like I told you before, Jason, before the film started rolling, I'm a Dragon Ball fan. And you did something that I would have paid $1 million to do, even if it's fan made. You was in a movie, a live action fan made movie that's called Dragon Ball Son of Trunks, and you played the role of Trunks.
Yeah.
How excited were you to have that role?
Yeah. I didn't, to be honest, I didn't know much. I knew Dragon Ball. I know it's a huge franchise. I knew all about it. I wasn't specifically familiar with Trunks or that relationship. So when they said, "Hey, we want you to, you're our dream, your dream cast for this. Will you do it?" I said, "Yeah, it looks like it's fun." And it was a 1-day shoot for me, so it was pretty quick. But I said, "Hey, you got to tell me what's going on here. Why am I in pink hair? What's going on with the story? Who is this guy? What is this world with different? You got to collect the different balls." And so I knew nothing about it, but these guys caught me up pretty quick, and it's a fascinating world.
No, it is. It is. Now, did you ever think that the rabbit hole would go that deep inside the Dragon Ball series?
No, I didn't. I guess I should have figured because it's been around so long, But I should have figured. But yeah, it surprised me. But like everything else, some of these franchises have been around for so long. If you don't know Power Rangers, you're like, "Oh yeah, he's the Red Ranger." But you're like, "Well, there's 30 seasons. There's different seasons. There's different." The rabbit hole goes down deep, and Dragon Ball Z was the same thing.
It is. It is. And I'm glad you brought up, because we're going to talk a little bit about that also, because the Power Rangers franchise, I remember, oh gosh, what year did it first drop? What was it, 90? Was it 94?
93. You talking Dragon Ball or Power Rangers?
No, Rangers.
Oh, 93.
93. Okay, I said 94, 93.
Yep.
So I was 13 years old when the show first came out. And I remember getting off the school bus, running like Forrest Gump to get in the house to make sure I did not miss Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the original series. Now, we're going to talk about your role for Wes Collins, but before you received the role of Wes Collins, did you have a deep knowledge of the Rangers?
No, not at all. I mean, I was familiar with it. I was already in college when it came out. So, of course, I knew a kid's show had aired, and I knew that it was very popular. But I wasn't really familiar with it. And as an actor, you audition for a lot of things. I mean, especially back in the late 90s, it was a lot easier to get in rooms versus how it is nowadays. And so for a while I started doing soap operas. So I thought soap operas was going to be my lane. But then Power Rangers audition came up for Lost Galaxy. And you audition for a lot of stuff, and I went up there and did it, didn't get it, moved on. A year later, Lightspeed Rescue comes up. So they said, "Hey, they want to see you for Rangers again." I'm like, "Well, that's right. I read for that last year." "Yeah, they want to see you again." Okay. Went up, read for it, didn't get it. And then, the third year came back again, and they said they want to see you again. And I thought, man, that's so crazy. Like, they've seen me twice. Wasn't sure, why that would be, but apparently, is it often with young actors, a lot of times your first role is when the role lines up with kind of who you really are in real life. Your personality just match. And Time Force came up and I got it. And even that audition was over the course of like 4 months. So like a couple of weeks would go by. I'm like, I didn't get it. And they're like, oh, we got a call back. Oh, a couple, 3 weeks would go by. Oh, I must not have gotten it again. Got a call back. Oh, so it took like 4 months to get that role.
What?
Yeah.
So was the process? So this could be behind the scenes stuff. So was the process different from auditioning for Wes Collins compared to what you did in the soap opera world?
Very, very. So they turn most auditions they turn around pretty quick. I mean, it's not that big of a process. But Power Rangers, is very specific on who they bring in. Making sure that they're bringing in the quality of person, that you're going to represent the brand. And they've misfired on a few of the people over the years. There's been a couple people that you never know existed that got on the show and then got fired. And I'll never forget the girl that was almost the Yellow Ranger my season. They had us down to like 2 Red Rangers, 2 Yellow Rangers, 2 Pink Rangers, and so everybody knew we got down to the final 10, and we knew like, hey, that guy sitting there, that looks kind of like me. It's me and him. And then the girls kind of knew because they knew that who they wanted to hire for everything, ethnicity wise, gender wise, and the girl that I think was going to get the Yellow Ranger role, they brought us in to kind of see how we looked height wise. Like I want to see this, you, and you 5, come on in. Okay, flip flop the yellow and flip flop the pink, and they just wanted to see how we look. And they said to the one girl, I'll never forget it. I don't know her name. They said, hey, do me a favor. You got heels on. Take your heels off. We want to see your true height next to the guys. And she goes, oh, I don't take my shoes off in public. And they said, oh, no, I know, but we just want to see your height. Like if you just take them off right there, and we're not asking you to just take them off. We just want to see how you look natural with the guys. She's like, I just don't do that. I'm sorry. And I sat there going like, no, take your freaking shoe off, man. I don't care if we're walking on hot coals. Like you need to rip that shoe off for like 8 seconds. She wouldn't do it. Didn't get the part. Isn't that crazy?
No, that's beyond crazy, Jason. Because now I wonder when she flipped the channels in and she saw you guys up there, Time Force on. I wonder if she look at her heels in hatred now.
It's funny because we know who the other Blue Ranger was because he actually ended up doing pretty good in the world. What was his name? I forgot it. Michael knew, and I remember the name. Oh God, it's actually escaped me now. For a long time, I remember the name of the guy that I was against, and I would look him up once in a while to see if he had worked or done much. And he did a couple little guest spots, and then kind of faded away. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting to kind of see where everything goes after something like that. And I'm dying to know who that girl was. I bet you I could find out. But I remember thinking, like, I can't believe she stuck to her guns and she didn't get the role.
Wow. Couldn't have been me. Couldn't have been me. Big shout outs to everybody that actually went and auditioned for that. Now, one last question about the Power Rangers. How excited were you when you finally found out that you received the role of Wes Collins?
Very. I remember exactly where I was. We had just started having cell phones, so I got the call from my manager, and I pulled over the car, and he said, "You got the role." And I remember I was in my car just screaming, and I was like, "Man, if someone drives by, they're going to think this guy is having a heart attack or something like that." But I remember exactly where I was. So very, very excited that I would finally be able to, quit waiting tables and bartending and just have one job instead of trying to hustle 4 jobs. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
That's beyond crazy. Ladies and gentlemen watching worldwide, I want to give you a quick nugget real quick. I hope you heard what Jason just said. If you have an audition and they ask you to take off your shoes to see your true height, you take your shoes off and throw it at them. No, don't throw it at them. I'm just being funny, people. I don't want you to ruin your roles. Put your shoes down gently. Do it. You never know. That 8 seconds can turn your whole life around for another 8 years or more. So make sure, just follow directions. That's all you have to do, people.
All you got to do. It was an easy ask. And I have to look that girl up. I bet you Iris would know who that is because I'm so curious to see what happened. Who knows? Yeah, maybe it was Halle Berry and look what we ended up becoming, and the joke's on us.
Well, she did play Catwoman. So
That's true.
I mean, it could have happened. It
Could
could
have
have
happened.
happened. Yes. Big shout outs to the whole Time Force. Big shout outs to the whole cast and crew of Time Force. Big shout outs to everybody that made it on the Power Rangers from Mighty Morphin all the way up. Even you people that's the Disney characters. I count you guys. I guess. Oh, I'm sorry, Disney. I'm sorry. I'm being funny.
They're always the redheaded stepchild, right? That's what everyone. Everyone else goes, well, I stopped when Disney started, and then I picked it back up later. And I always find that fascinating.
Well, it's true. A lot of people done that. They definitely done that. Now,
Yep.
let me ask you this because you did Forever Red. What was it like working with the late Jason David Frank?
It was great. Jay and I met on Forever Red, and we hit it off pretty well. But then, about 8 years later, I met him at Comic-Con, and that's when we really became good friends, about 2012. So we spent, a good decade, 10, 11 years of being very close friends, traveling the world, doing stuff together. There was Comic-Cons where he would go to and say like, hey man, Faunt's coming with me. So he was a huge part of my success and where I am today. And Jay was great. I mean, he was he was a tough guy's tough guy, but when you really knew him and people weren't around, he was almost silly. He was almost silly and character like. So, but you had to really know him to see that side of it. But a great guy, a lot of fun, and just what can you say? He's missed tremendously, and the whole thing is just a shock and still very sad.
Yes, yes. And if you all want to see how Jason David Frank really was, some of his YouTube stuff is still up. And if you go back and watch Mighty Morphin at the end of the shows, they do little bloopers at the end sometime. So you can actually catch that also at the end of some of the Mighty Morphin episodes, if you can find the original cuts. So make sure you look for that. Now, Jason, you've done, once again, so much. Now you have something out where you going to be like an invisible man in this movie that we had going on. And I seen the trailer.
You didn't see the movie, right?
I haven't seen the movie yet.
Okay.
Not yet. But that's coming. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about this movie that Jason is in. It's called An Old Friend. Jason, tell everybody about this movie and how excited were you to receive your role?
Well, I tell you what, it's fascinating because for the listeners right away, just to know, the movie just became Oscar qualified.
Yep.
So we're qualified to it comes down to where a handful make it into this list, and then they start watching and voting, and then you get to the short list, and then you get to the ones that they announce at the Academy. So to be Oscar qualified on its own is an amazing thing. I got the script, I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago. And the script won a screenplay contest up in Seattle. And the winner of this contest annually gets this short film funded. Well, this screenplay written by Dan Martin was so good that the one of the owners of the show was like, hey man, we're going to direct this one. It's that good. And the Ben Andrews, who's a very good friend of mine that I've known for quite a few years, said, hey, we want you to play the lead role of Kelvin. Now, short films I've never really done. They kind of, unfortunately, my thought of them is that it's young filmmakers up and coming, really no money involved. So it's not something that you really think to do. And so I said, I'll read the script because Ben's my buddy and it could sound fun. And so I read it, and the ending has such a twist to it that I was so blown away by the ending to it, even emotionally. Like I remember reading it. I couldn't believe I just didn't see what was going to happen come. Probably kind of like how The Sixth Sense was back in the day, right? You're just like, wait, what? And it's not a Sixth Sense thing, by the way. But and so I was blown away with the ending. It took me emotionally, just because that's just the content of that is something that triggers me. So I was like, dude, I'm in. So we filmed it and went up to Seattle. I was there for maybe 3 days and, met the whole crew up there. They're amazing crew, young crew, but they're so polished and professional up there. And we filmed it and did it. And then after they started to submit it to festivals, and it just kept winning and winning and winning and winning. And the producers laughed. They'd say like, hey, by the way, I forgot to tell you, you won Best Actor at Staten Island Film Festival. And then they're like, oh, and then you won it in the one in Spain. And I was like, guys, I won Best Actor. I said, what? You got to tell me these things. Like, they go, Jason, this is their exact words. We're winning so much. We really don't know what to do. Are we supposed to promote every day? We just won here. We just won here. So over 50 festivals internationally. And then the next obvious thing was to try and swing for the Oscars, because obviously we've got the resume now. So that's the story. That's what happened. So here we are.
And Jason, the cast is not no light cast. You work with Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, sheesh. This is crazy. I mean, it's crazy in a good way, because you're not even thinking about Oscars when you're reading the film. I mean, you're reading the script.
No way.
Off top. That's not in your mind. You're trying to see
No.
what the story is about. And then Best Actor, now Oscar nominated, dude.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah. So just to be clear, the Academy's only recognized Best Film for the shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously not best. They don't have a Best Actor category, but in the festivals, won a bunch of Best Actors and of course over 50 awards internationally with that. And they didn't even submit to the big ones, the Cannes, the Sundances. They didn't even do that. So who knows, had we done that, if we had gotten into it. So, but working with Tom was great. I it's funny because I knew of Tom. I've seen him a million times. I know the name. But where I really think is amazing is the reference they made to Tom Skerritt and Ted. Do you remember Ted?
Oh, yeah, the bear. Yes, the bear.
Yeah.
Yes. I do.
So that's what I think is so funny. Like I look back on that, and so it was a lot of fun to work with him. Truthfully, everybody asked the question, and so I'll just give you the answer now. Is I didn't get much time with him. So he was in and I was in. We filmed his scenes and he was out. So I really didn't get a chance to have lunch or coffee or really talk or hear stories. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to really connect with him.
That doesn't even, it matters, but it don't matter, Jason, because you are in a movie with this guy. And winning Best Actor in the movie with this guy. So, I mean, that's something you need to write in all capital letters on your resume. I'm saying write. See, I'm old school. Write. Type. I'm sorry, new generation. Y'all don't write no more. See, type.
They don't either.
So, I mean, this is awesome. Jason, do you ever go back and just rethink your whole career path? Like, I'm talking about, like, reminisce from the beginning to where you're at now. And does it even amazes you?
Yeah, it does. I think I'm pretty good at keeping myself in check and always going like, hey, man, it could, enjoy your wins, enjoy your success, but like, keep staying hungry. Yeah. So I try not to do that much. And I think maybe if we do win this, will give me a good time to reflect on, when I moved out from Chicago and I always laugh, it's a pickup truck with 250,000 miles. No steering, no power steering, no air conditioning. Those cheap leather seats that sticks to your back when it's hot, and is way too cold in the winter. And probably, I always say $1,500, but definitely less than $2,000 to my name. Left, headed out. So to be where I am today is pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yes, that really is cool. I'm not gonna lie to you, Jason. How can everybody see an old friend? Even if it's in the future or present, how can they see it?
We don't know yet. So they can't play it until after the Oscars. Mm-hmm. That I know. And I think the producers, to which I'm not one of, so I kind of just listen to what they say, I think they've got to find a way to make it viewable to, obviously with the Ranger fandom, they've seen all this Oscar qualified. So yes. To make it viewable so everybody can watch it, because, short films aren't typically out there, but we'll see. We'll have to figure something out, but everyone needs to see it because it's pretty amazing.
No, it really is. But I can tell everybody right now, if I'm not mistaken, I saw the trailer, but I think the trailer is also on YouTube. It might be. I think it is.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, go watch it. Not right now. Don't go watch the trailer right now. You're watching this interview. After the interview, go to YouTube, type in an old friend, look at this trailer. You're going to see what I'm talking about. It's amazing. You may think that this is some flat movie. No,
Yeah.
no, you're sadly mistaken if that's
Yeah.
what you're thinking. This gonna be one of those movies. If it ever hit theaters, you want to bring your mother, your father, your family, your associates, and even your haters to this movie to see this movie when it drops. I promise you that.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
one thing you don't want to miss. Make sure you tell everybody about this movie. Go to YouTube, blow that trailer up, click the like button. Just keep
Yeah.
clicking it. No, don't keep clicking it. Click it one time, because if you click it again, it's going
It
to
unlikes.
yeah, click it one time and tell your friends to do it too, because this is something that has to be out there. It has to be
Yeah.
out there. Yes, yes. Now, Jason, are there any other projects that you're working on that you want to tell the world about?
Yeah, we besides an old friend, three things. We're producing a cartoon called The Brush Brigade. It's an animated cartoon that surrounds the Tooth Fairy's daughter and her adventures on how she kind of finds her place being from this royalty. And the Brush Brigade is a series of these warriors that morph to fight Emperor Decay. So that's a kids TV series we're developing. Actually, the pilot after 2 years is going to be done here in a few weeks, and we're hoping to get that thing out there. Brush Brigade, the Legend of the White Dragon movie with the late great Jason David Frank, that finally has been completed. It's going through distribution now. So, like selling a home, they try to see what, Netflix, Hulu, who wants to buy it and for how much. So they're going through that phase. That's coming. And then next month, I'm putting on the Batman suit. So I'm in the Bat in the Sun series, Superpower Beatdown. I'll be playing in the 1989 Michael Keaton suit, Batman versus Shredder. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So I'll be playing Batman. Crazy, right? So you got Power Rangers, Trunks, and Batman. This is the trifecta, right?
This dude, you deserve Actor of the Year once again. This is amazing to me. I didn't know. Ladies and gentlemen, watching worldwide. That caught me off guard. I
Yeah.
thought I knew everything Jason was doing. I didn't.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
that is awesome right there.
Yeah.
That is definitely awesome. Yes. Now, Jason, what's the best way for everyone to follow you on social media?
My Facebook got hacked recently, so I'm in the process of rebuilding that. But Instagram is where I am. At Jason Faunt with the blue check mark. That's the one. That's the one that I do personally monitor. Do try to look at comments. So Instagram is the best place to find me. That's where we make all the announcements of my appearances. Like I'll be in Dallas next week. I'll be in Puerto Rico in January. And then all over the world next year. And then also at Instagram is where we post up any announcements for the films or any new things.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go follow Jason on Instagram. Follow him everywhere. If you see that blue check mark, you know it's him. Make sure you follow him. You never know what he's going to announce. You never know. Maybe he'll sneak on that blue Batman suit, the '89 suit, and just shoot a quick pick. We don't know. I'm just trying to get in Jason's head right now to try to convince him to do it. So I'm just letting you know, follow him right now because you want to keep up with the latest and greatest of what he's doing. Make sure you go follow him on Instagram. Now, Jason, it's the last segment of the show. Of course, it's called Take the Floor. You have up to 2 minutes to say whatever you want. No questions asked. Jason Faunt, take the floor.
Oh, man. I don't know. 2 minutes, whatever I say. You know what? I'll kind of go into, I think, what I feel is great advice for young kids. And I think that's a lot of people always ask, remember, life is a marathon, right? We're so used to today that everything you can get so quickly. If you want food, boom, it's at your door. If you want to order stuff on Amazon like deodorant, boom, it's at your door. If you want to go on a date, you can swipe, boom, it's at your door. So everything happens so quickly. But the most gratifying things in life, the things worth doing, take time, right? Everything isn't instantaneous. And if you really want long-term success, both physically and mentally, enjoy the ride. Everything's supposed to happen quick right now, and that's the beauty of life is to embrace the failures, right? Embrace the things that set you back, because when you overcome them, that's the beautiful part of life. Nobody wants just a perfect life that has no ups and downs. It's the downs that lead to the ups, and the ups are where the highs are. So enjoy your failures, embrace your failures, take big swings, take risks. We only have one shot at this life, so you never want to look back and think you didn't give it your all in whatever capacity, and take care of your health. We got a lot of new information out there in terms of how we eat, and I have a sauna at my house now. I have a cold plunge. There's so many things out there that really help your health out, and it's so important to take care of your health, because you don't want to be unhealthy when we get into our later ages. It's a tougher road, so do the work now.
Wow, that was deep. Jason said it all, man. You heard him. Take a leap of faith. Watch your health. Take care of your health. That's what I'm talking about. Once again, everybody, make sure you follow Jason on Instagram. He's getting that Facebook fixed, so be patient with that. He'll be back on that soon. Also, if you have not watched Power Rangers Time Force, I'm advising you to go watch it. I believe it's on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. It was at one time. I think it still is.
It was, and then they redid some negotiation, and it was taken off. There's only like 4 seasons on there. So I think they did the originals and the most recent and maybe 1 or 2 in between. But on YouTube, all 40 episodes are there. So remember, with Power Rangers Time Force, for those of you a little older, it's a kid's show, but it's widely considered the most mature of the Power Rangers series. So you got to watch it's a standalone. You don't have to watch the previous seasons, but you got to start at 1 and end on 40. And you'll know in the first episode that something is very, very different with this kid's show. And if you watch all of the end, you see the end, you're going to say, I can't believe they ended it this way. So very non-traditional in many ways, and you'll like it.
Make sure you go watch it. Also, if you're a fan of Dragon Ball like me, get on YouTube. No, actually, there's a website out for the Son of Trunks.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is. I just told Jason something he didn't know.
There you go.
Yeah. So I think it's called sonoftrunks.com, if I'm not mistaken. But you can also, I believe you can find it on YouTube. So make sure you catch that. And once again, make sure you get ready for an old friend. That is going to be coming soon. I'm speaking that into existence. It's going to go, that short is going to hit theaters. I'm calling it right now. Make sure you go watch that. Jason, I want to thank you for coming on the show, and I would love to have you back on in the future.
Big Scoop with Coop, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. And, man, continue success. Have an amazing weekend.
That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching The Big Scoop with Coop. The next episode of The Big Scoop with Coop, my next guest is, I don't announce my next guest. You better follow me on social media at The Big Scoop with Coop on Instagram and TikTok to find out my next guest. Until the next time, people, on The Big Scoop with Coop. Peace.
You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop from Mr. Cooper.